Good evening and welcome to Monday's edition of the Regional News. The Surinamese government says it will sign aviation agreements with several countries in the Middle East as the Dutch-speaking Caribbean community CARICOM country seeks to develop its existing relationship with countries in that region. Transport, Communication and Tourism Minister Albert Jubitana is traveling to the United Arab Emirates, UAE, for this purpose, where he will sign the first aviation agreement on Monday. A day later, he is in Qatar to sign a memorandum of understanding with that country. Quote unquote, the Surinamese government has set itself the goal of having signed more than 30 aviation agreements by the end of its term in office. Jubitana told reporters prior to his departure, adding that the government found 13 aviation agreements in place when it took office in July 2020. He said he had received invitations last month from the Arab countries to sign the agreements. In Qatar, he will also have a meeting with the Chief Executive Officer of Qatar Airways to determine whether the airline would be able to service the route between the two countries, adding that local businesses could capitalize on the new agreements to be signed as Suriname moved to export goods and service to the Middle East. Haitian Prime Minister Ariel Henry says he is attending crisis talks in Jamaica to listen and to help determine how the country can rebuild from the latest round of political and economic turmoil. Quote unquote, we did not come here to negotiate for another agreement. We are here to listen, talk about the next steps we have to take to rebuild our democracy, Henry said. Henry noted that agreements have struck in the past and acknowledged that critics may also point to previous consultations involving political and civil society stakeholders. The three-day consultation involved representatives from various groups in the French-speaking CARICOM country of more than 12 million people. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who has been leading CARICOM's response to the Haitian situation, said Jamaica is honored to host the parties at a time when dialogue at the highest possible level is essential, necessary, and critical to achieving a consensus. Haiti has failed to hold elections since President Jovenel Moise murder, and Henry assumed power shortly after, promising that his administration would do so. Police in the British Virgin Islands have confirmed that 2 female tourists from the United States died in unrelated incidents while at the baths last week. On Tuesday, TIANA Wright, 63 of Texas, was found unresponsive by members of her family while snorkeling in the waters near the baths around 3 p.m. She was transported to shore where attempts were made to resuscitate her by personnel from the Iris O'Neill Clinic and Virgin Islands Search and Rescue. She was later pronounced dead. And around noon on Friday, another female tourist, a native of California, was snorkeling at the baths when she began experiencing difficulty. She was transported to shore where attempts were made to restore breathing. She was later pronounced dead. The name of the second female is being withheld until the next of kin has been notified. The cause of death in both cases is still to be determined. Investigations are ongoing. Thank you for watching. I'm TIANA.